there have been several sort of contentions between the department and the taxpayer that when you go for a stay to the Income Tax Appellate Tribunal, the department through a circular wanted to bring in a percentage of demand sort of levy, which is that if your demand is 100 crore, the department was saying you pay at least 15 to 20% of it before you're able to get that stay.
Right.
That was in the form of a circular so far, which has now been brought into the Act itself, and which says that if you, at the first stage when you are probably seeking a stay of 180 days, you pay at least 20% of the demand to the department.
Right. So just to complete the 206C, or the short point is that I think, in my view, a lot of automation will be required on the processes side. Otherwise, this will be a big cumbersome requirement for businesses. But to complete the other point, I really strongly believe and urge that the amendments which have been talked about, as I mentioned, on cleaning up the penalty and prosecution, particularly clauses, and there have been recent decisions where courts have upheld prosecution on delay in depositing TDS. So I'm just making a distinction. I'm not talking of where businesses withhold tax and not pay at all. That is undue enrichment. That needs to be strictly, dealt with. But if there is an inadvertent delay, earlier there used to be, again, administrative circulars which were withdrawn, that if you have delayed but made the payment, let's say maximum within 1 year, maybe because of some whatever administrative reasons, there would be no prosecution. So the short point is, as you increase the obligations on TDS and TCS, you must at least ensure that there are no onerous penalties and prosecution for any inadvertent delays. As far as sorry, your next question was on the deposit. I think some time ago that amendment came in the indirect tax law as well. In one way, it gives certainty that you are now sure that you need to pay that much amount upfront, and the balance has to be kept in abeyance. Otherwise, for individual cases, and we know from experience that many times the revenue would actually insist on higher 40%, 50%, 60% payment, and you have to virtually negotiate case by case. So one advantage is that, okay, now the law tells you that this is what you need to deposit, and the rest of it you have to wait till the outcome. So by itself, at least that gives certainty in a sense.